Today I'm going to show you how to put the face circles on the owl so that you get a super cute owl every time. Right now we're making Nelson the owl. He's my most popular pattern and everyone loves owls. And the trick to making this guy look good is to get these face circles positioned evenly on both sides of his head. And it's not hard, but it does, I guess, take a little trick, so I'm going to show you how to do it. This is the face circle, and this is his head. And so now we're at the assembly stage of the pattern, and we're going to thread the long tail of the face circle onto our tapestry needle. Okay, now the first thing you want to do is you want to hold this guy in place while you're stitching. Okay, so I use a pin. Well, actually, so I don't use anything because I've now made my 53rd owl yesterday. This is number 54, so I don't use anything, but you might want to use a locking stitch marker or a pin, and that'll help you keep it in place as you go. I usually just hold it with my fingers, and I'll show you that, but don't be embarrassed to use a stitch marker. All that matters is how it looks in the end. You take these out, no one will ever see it. But what I do though is you want to put the stitch marker so it's in the center stitch. So there's 20 stitches of white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that was 10. I put the little stitch marker right there in the center. So now I know that I want the edge to reach here when I get there. Okay, so this is really why I don't pin it, because I always know that this part wants to be here. But go ahead and pin it. You know, if that is a spot that's causing you some trouble, do that, because that'll help you get it nice and even. I hold my guy upside down as I'm going. I don't know if that's helpful to anyone or not, or if it's just what I do. And I start one row up from the bottom. That's just a personal preference thing, okay? So I'm gonna go one stitch through the head and one stitch through the face circle. Okay, so the first one you just sort of put wherever. And the next one is where we're going to start doing our fancy placement. So if you look on the back, so this is the end of, oh dear, I can't remember which row number. The last row, whichever one the last one is, it should be 2 or 3. We won't worry about that now. That's the last one. What we want to really stitch to is the one before the last one. So see this row right here? I'm pointing at it with my needle. That's what we want to stitch to. So it's not going to be possible to stitch to it on the first time, but that's our goal. So when we go in our second stitch, we're stitching. See, this is the wrong side of the face circle. This is the pretty side you see. This is the wrong side. And we're not doing it right on the edge, because that's how we get this face circle to stick out a bit and be really cute. Okay, that's a key part to Nelson. Okay, now that I've done 3, you can see that this ridge that was created by the second to last round is available. So I'm going to stitch through those. And at this point, just look and see, are you on target for getting to your boundary? Right here, you know, it looks to me like I should go in this stitch again, and that's okay. Sometimes you might skip a stitch, sometimes you might do one twice, whatever it takes to get the spacing the way you want it. Ooh, lost my needle. See, that happens, no worries. And again, this is one of my longer videos, just because people really wanted to see how the face circles get attached from stop to start. So I'm doing this in real time, which means it might be a little boring. This corner stitch, sometimes I just skip. Depends really how many stitches you've consumed by the time you get here. So I'm just going along. This one I might want to do twice. And you should see this is sticking up, right? That's what's making that little sticky outy bit that's super cute. Okay, now I've used most of the stitches that are in that second to last round. So now I'm just going along the side of the owl face circle. Okay, now I'm at the last stitch. I'm gonna run this last stitch through what would be the chain 3 of the start of that round, right? So right on this very edge here. Okay, I run it through. He looks so good. And then I want this to lay really flat. So I'm going to take out the stitch marker because it's done its job. I'm going to stick this directly through to go to the back of the fabric. Okay, I'm pulling it through to the back, and I'm going to tie my knot. I'm not going to show you the knot in super detail because I've done that in other videos, and this guy is already getting long. Okay, so there we go. Beautiful. Now we want to start the second one. And you may have noticed that in some sense, you're doing the second one a different way. So you're starting it from the center because that's where the long tail is on the thing. We've chatted in our Ravelry group about some ways of getting around that and other ideas, but I'll just show you what I do. The key thing is that these two little things meet in the center. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my tapestry needle and poke right through that edge point where we started, and that's going to anchor the stitch to the center. Okay, so bring this back through to the back. I'm going to do the same thing I was doing before, just using these edge stitches. And again, if you want to use a locking stitch marker to tack this guy down, go ahead and do that. And you can see right here in the center that they're perfectly positioned. And I'm just going to go around and attach on the back the same way I did for the first one. And you'll have a perfectly cute owl.